Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB. Welcome to Philly Take with RB. You guys know what to do. Go ahead and smash the like button, hit the subscribe if you're new, and ding the notification bell so you're instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. Today we're back and there's not much going on. Obviously our game got postponed yesterday. I was pissed off. A lot of you were as well, because we wanted to see our team come out and rebound from a sloppy loss on Saturday night, a game where we came all the way back and still could not pull it out without Joel Embiid. I wanted to see guys like Ben and Tobias and the rest of the crew come out and rebound and get right back at it on a short-term memory. Obviously, we didn't get the chance, and now we got to wait a couple days until we play the Boston Celtics. But something came up, and shout out to a few of my subscribers who went and notified me of this. There was an article last night that came out written by the Philadelphia Inquirer and Sixers reporter Keith Pompey. You guys probably all know who that is. He put out an article, and I thought it was pretty interesting, and I started to think about it. Here's the title of the article. Sixers assistant Sam Cassell has been working with Ben Simmons on transforming into a multifaceted playmaker. And I think it's very interesting. When I see the words multifaceted playmaker, I could take two meanings away from that. The first meaning I could take away is they're trying to make Ben Simmons a pure playmaker with other facets of his game, such as shooting, such as rebounding, defending, but they're focusing on him in terms of assisting his teammates and finding the best shots open. The other meaning I could take away from it is that they are trying to make him a multi-dimensional, passer in terms of from the post, from the top of the key, getting his teammates open, driving, kicking, doing whatever he has to do. But it seems like there's a big emphasis on playmaking. And when you start to take into account everything that is going on this year and everything, there's this whole back and forth with Ben Simmons still. What do we do? Why is he playing this way? And all that. And the third, people supporting him, there's a whole bunch going on. And I think this article is pretty interesting. Now, it was just a short piece, but there were definitely some interesting things said, which we will talk about. But first and foremost, I want us to think back and remember, we were very excited. We were intrigued about this staff that Doc Rivers brought on. I remember the day it just kept coming one after the other, like Dave Yeager and then Sam Cassell and then Dan Burke and then a bunch of other guys. And we were excited about this staff that was assembled. And I'm excited about Sam Cassell and the impact that he has on guards. He's been around a lot of different NBA locker rooms. He's been a coach for a different couple teams, never a head coach. He was in the running to be one, but he was with Doc in LA and came over to Philadelphia. And there is a notion about Sam Cassell in terms of his positive impact on the style of guards. And Sam Cassell was a scorer and also a facilitator during his days, during his real prime. I think he made an All-Star game once, but Sam Cassell, as we all know, has been working with Ben Simmons pregame every single game on how to play and the style. And going off the title of that article, again, multifaceted playmaker. So today, I guess I just really want to talk about what is the emphasis that is being put on Ben Simmons by this coaching staff. And it's a solid point. It's a valid point. Are Doc Rivers and Sam Cassell and their style and their system with the offense being built around Joel Embiid, is that forcing Ben Simmons to play the way he is? Now, we all know Ben Simmons adds value to this team. There is no doubt about it. Ben Simmons adds value from an overall standpoint. But the problem is when when Elton Brand goes and pays him a max contract, right? We expect more. That was basically on the potential that Ben is going to develop the one thing he does not have and become a transcendent star. But the problem is we're in year 5 and there's no progression in that area. Obviously, he can play defense. He's a lockdown defender. He can rebound. He can facilitate, do all that stuff. But being a 7-foot guy and having that whole skill set, we expect more from Ben. Again, it is okay to support Ben and want more. And I said this a couple days ago, but I think the biggest problem that Philly fans are having, as such as myself, are trying to come to grips with the fact that is this the Ben Simmons that is going to last throughout his career? Like, is this Ben Simmons? There's no improvement. This is Ben Simmons, just a $180 million glue guy who can lock down the other team's best offensive player. And is that just who he's going to be? That's the problem that Philly fans are having. We understand that value comes with Ben's game, but it's more so, can he do more? Is he going to develop into more? Because he's still 24 years old. And in my personal opinion, maybe this is having an impact. A lot of people try to say that it's an injury and that's why he's not making contact at the rim. Some people are saying, is it just Ben's mentality? He doesn't want it enough. He got paid and he's satisfied. There's a lot of things being thrown out there. I'm not going to say one is right and one's wrong, because I don't know Ben Simmons. I don't know what's going through his head. But what I do know is it's pretty crazy right now that he hasn't taken a step offensively, but maybe there's some validity to this. Keith Pompey put it out, a couple quotes in the article. As you can see, he says there's a lot of interest in his pregame workouts in terms of Sam Cassell with Ben Simmons, especially how he's helping with his shooting. But that's just a small portion of what he's helping the two-time All-Star with. Quote, you give him players. He's done a great job, but it's more about shooting. It's about his post game, his passing, how to play the unique position that he plays. And looking even further, he says he's not a point, he's not a 2, he's not a 3. He's a ball player. We put him in every spot on the floor, literally every spot. Having a guy like Sam explain to him what we are looking for is what we are trying to do here. And that brings a couple more questions. Number one, what are you looking to do here? Obviously, like I said, Doc has built the offense around Joe. And earlier this season, especially right before it started, when Doc came out and said, we don't care if Ben shoots the ball, we kind of said, that's brushing it off from the media, not trying to put too much on Ben. And I understand that, coming right in with a new regime for the first time for Ben and Joe, you don't want to put so much pressure, like you got to go out and shoot 7 threes right away. But 10 to 15 games into the season and seeing the things that he's doing, it's very mind-boggling to me. It's befuddling sometimes. And Doc Rivers might have a part in this. Like, is Doc Rivers, is Sam Cassell just trying to make this guy facilitate? We have more spacing, we have better shooters, and when everyone's healthy, we are playing a good brand of basketball. But the long-term outlook, when we get to the playoffs, how is that going to fare? And that kind of brings up another big question, If Ben is just being told to play this way, because look, before I get to that, Doc Rivers, this is what he does. He focuses on a player's strengths, right? Joel Embiid is very good when he gets the ball in the post, couple dribbles, turns his shoulder, and puts it up into the hoop. Doesn't take too long. Tobias Harris, quick decision making. Doc focuses on the strength of players, and you can see he's doing that with Ben. Ben has been passing the ball well. Now, there is some bad decision making in crucial situations, bad turnovers, which can't happen. But the thing is Doc Rivers just trying to, I guess, mold these guys to fit a certain system? I don't know. But that brings up the other question, like, when Doc Rivers was brought here, I'm sure there were conversations, and we paid Ben Simmons, we paid Tobias Harris, and that's the thing. Can you win a championship with just one star and more so role players? Because that's really what we have right now. That's what it looks like. And again, a person like me, it's hard for me to say this is just Ben Simmons, because last year, Ben would have those games where he goes 16 points, 18 points, sometimes 22, sometimes above 22. You know what I mean? And this year, I just wanted him to take a step up around 18, maybe pushing 20. But right now, he's sitting 10 points, 11, 12. He's contributing in other areas, but he's not scoring the ball. And last year and the year before, even years ago, when we saw him take some mid-range shots, and it's kind of almost like he's just staying put. He's just staying put, and it's like, last year I saw him be aggressive. Now, don't get me wrong, Ben has done this for about a year or two, where he goes, drives as hard as he can, and kicks out. It never looked this blatant, and it was never emphasized as much because the whole team was bad. Brett Brown was bad, so we never just looked at Ben like, why is he doing this all the time? But now as your team gets better, now as you have good shooting, and now as we're looking to potentially make a deep playoff run, we're expecting the most out of our stars, and now there's a plain focus on it. And we're like, why? Why does he keep doing this? In my opinion, again, you have Duncan Robinson, you have Grayson Allen in the post. Just take that matchup. You don't got to avoid contact. You're too big. You're too fast. There's other guys like LeBron who are pass first, but what do? When there's a chance, when there's an opportunity, they drive and take it. That's what I'm asking from Ben Simmons. When you're open, take the shot. He took a couple the other night. I was happy with that. I was more annoyed about the late game turnover. about the bad decision making. But who knows what's going to happen with Ben. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Do you need two scoring stars to win in today's game? I think you do. And right now, I think we have Joel Embiid and a bunch of role players. Now, that's partly on the Sixers organization for paying max contracts to guys like Ben and Tobias. Joel's obviously your number one option. He can give you 30, 35, 40 some nights. But going around that in the playoffs, can you trust these shooters? When these shooters are on, we're going to win games. But are they going to be on every game? I don't know. And that's why I think when you look at these teams, when you look at the modern day NBA, there's some exceptions, but overall, especially with how the dynamic of the league is right now, you need those two scoring stars. You need a Joel Embiid, and then you need another player that is going to put up, you need two stars that can put up 25 plus each on any given night. Some nights one will put up 42, the other will put up 24. Some nights they'll both put up 28 to 30, but I feel like you need that other star. And again, we are allocating a lot of resources to Tobias Harris. Tobias is your plain number 3 option. He's been more consistent this year, but really all he is a number 3 option. He's going to give you 20 a game, and that's good enough for a third option. Maybe on a title team, who knows? He's improved on defense, maybe. Maybe that's good enough for a number 3 option, but for a number 2, that's what we expected Ben Simmons to fulfill, and it's just not there in terms of scoring the ball, and I think we need another scoring piece. Don't get me wrong, Shake Milton has been amazing. Shake Milton has taken a huge step up. I expected it, but he's not a guy who I can consistently say and rely on to give me 28 a night already. No, I don't expect that from him. I don't expect it from Shake Milton, and again, when our shooters are shooting 70% from 3, yeah, we're going to win games, but how about in the playoffs when the half court gets a huge emphasis and our shooters are getting closed out on? Then what do? We're going to need to rely on someone to step up, and I just don't know if we have it right now. But based off this short article, I'm just wondering, and look, maybe Doc is focusing on Ben's strengths, which are passing and rebounding and defense, and it's going to take time to mold. Doc has said in an interview, with Stephen A. and a couple other people, like, in the long term, yeah, he needs to shoot, but is it important now? They have to just lock this into Ben's head that when the opportunity is there, you have to take it. You have to start from inside and work your game out. Just take a couple mid-ranges. Just take a couple three-pointers. And I hope from this article, in terms of a multifaceted playmaker, you can be a pass-first player, but I hope they're stressing every dimension of his game. And they said they're stressing shooting as well. And Ben, you can see that he trusts Sam Cassell and Doc Rivers more. He talks about the accountability factor. I hope they are holding him accountable. And I hope Ben just continues to work on his game. Because it's, again, I don't want to believe that this is who Ben is, but if we go a half a season and he's just kind of that glue guy, then who knows what's going to happen? When he drives down, when he's going downhill, that's the thing that pisses me off. When he's downhill one-on-one and he just stops and turns and instantly just throws it out. Like last year, at least he was being aggressive and he would go until he couldn't anymore. Now it's just like, he barely looks at the rim. He takes a couple steps and it's instantly looking for the pass first. They gotta lock that mentality in them. Like, you gotta go until you are stopped. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours down below in the comment section. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.